Sarah from Sassy, and I am back with another review, but this time I'm doing a series review, which is something I have not done since I reviewed the Clipped Wings series. It was like 4 books, I think, back like in 2014. I don't know, it's been a long time since I reviewed those books. They were trash, by the way. Don't read those. Sometimes, like, every now and then, people comment on that series review, and they'll be like, thanks for reviewing this. Like, I hated that book, and I was trying to, like, force myself to finish it, but now I'm glad I don't have to. Don't force yourself to finish books, you guys. But, if you want a series that is worth sticking through, then this is a series that you may want to check out. And it's a series that everybody talks about, so, like, it's no surprise. It's the A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. All heavy, big, giant books. So, let's start from the beginning, right? So, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas follows Farah, a girl who is, like, I think 18 or 19 at the start of this novel. She lives in Prythian, which is, well, does she live in Prythian? Yes. She lives in Prythian, and Prythian is divided into the Mortal Lands, which is, like, literally, here's a map, a sliver. There is no room. Like, if you're a human, you get nothing. Like, this is where the humans live. This tiny little area, all this, that's it. And then this is all fairy, all of that. And so there are different courts within Prythian's Fey realm. There's the Night Court, Day Court, Dawn Court, Autumn Court, Winter Court, Summer and Spring Court, and then there is Under the Mountain, which plays a huge part in this novel. So, Farah ends up, she's kind of like the Katniss Everdeen for her family. She goes out and hunts. She provides, even though her sisters, well, only one of them is really ungrateful, Nesta. She's kind of a bitch. And then Elaine, who's like this gentle flower that must be protected. And then her dad, who's a merchant, who pretty much destroyed the family fortune. And he's kind of trying to fix things, but no spoilers. So, yeah. This, story starts when Farah kills a Fae. She sees the Fae in its wolf form, and she knows it's a Fae. And she kills it. Then the Spring Court High Lord, Tamlin, comes barging into her house and whisks her away a la Beauty and the Beast style. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, if you couldn't tell. And so, yeah, then it goes on to her having to break the curse to save all of the Fey realm that is being held under Amarantha, Under the Mountain. And yeah, it's really interesting. This book is really gorgeous. How do I feel about it as a standalone? I love it. I gave it 5 stars. I have a review for it. I'll leave that down below if you want further thoughts. It's a really good novel. However, it does extremely lack in the middle, and it gets a little boring. But even then, like, the monotony of it I loved, which some people may not love at all, but I liked it because I felt like I was learning who Farah was, and even though it was boring, I enjoyed it. So yeah, this one's good. The next one is A Court of Mist and Fury, which is the second book. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling, and this follows Farah after the events of Under the Mountain. She is in her next stage. I won't spoil what the stage is, and there is the bargain that she made with Rasan Under the Mountain that she has to uphold, and that is that every other month she has to go to the Night Court and be with him. I'm not specified of whether that's be sexy time or just be. And she is about to marry Tamlin, and this is a really great look into what it's like to be with a beast after the love story, because, you know, not everybody becomes redeemable, and it's really interesting take on post-traumatic stress as well as dealing with such a traumatic event and just kind of being the center when you don't want to be. And it's a lot for Farah, and this is a very big book. I obviously gave this one 5 stars. This one's really good. However, I had such a hard time reading it. For some reason, it took me like a month and a half to read this book when I read it, and I don't know why, because I loved it. But like once I did really get into it, I flew through it. But I think because like I hit like this weird like I'm only gonna read a chapter every now and then kind of stint for like 2 weeks, it threw me off course. But still, I love this one. The next one is the final trilogy wrap-up. This is technically like a 6-book series, but Feyre's trilogy is included in A Court of Wings and Ruin, which, you guys, I have fan art inside. I love it. This novel really focuses on the aftermath of ACOTAR and what occurred with the Hybern court. Well, Hybern land, other realm, or whatever. It was a shit show, right? And so Feyre is infiltrating the Spring Court, and shit is going down, and she's not with her baby Rhysand, and my heart was like pounding, and I was like, yes, bitch, take these fuckers down. And it was so intense. It was so good. And then we get into the meat of the war, and there's a lot of death and violence, and it's a really good portrayal of war. However, I do have like 2 little nitpicks, because I've read this one so recently. My nitpicks are still in my head. I wish that there had been more death within the inner circle, not the inner circle itself, but just characters that we know. There was death, and those deaths destroyed my soul, but I feel like maybe a High Lord or 2 should have died. Not Rhysand. I was glad. Like, page 666, destroy my soul. But, yeah, and then also, I do have some issues with Amren. Is it Amren? Moore. Sorry, wrong character. With Moore's storyline, with the whole Asriel thing, it left a sour taste in my mouth, predominantly because I feel like in a lot of media that women who like other women are portrayed in a certain way, and I feel like Sarah J. Maas fed into that portrayal, and it wasn't accurate. But I am not an LGBTQ member, and so I can't speak for them. But it left a sour taste in my mouth. However, I feel like this can be redeemed, so hopefully it will be, but we shall see. But overall, it's a 5-star trilogy. Like, I think they're really great. If I were to rank them, which I have no problem ranking, like, we're gonna call this the rank it. We're ranking this one number 1. That's right, I said it. I think that this is the best one of the trilogy, in my personal opinion. I'm a huge fan of war stories and battle strategy and stuff like that. Like, when I feel like you're being an anti-hero, I enjoy it. Like, give me the Game of Thrones shit. That's what I'm here for. So this one is my personal favorite. Then this one, because I really enjoyed the take on, you know, abusive relationships as well as PTSD. I feel like this was a very, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think. It was a very thought-provoking novel. And as far as fantasy novels go, I felt like this was really strong in the fact that it humanized a character who was not human anymore. And I feel like that was a really important aspect. Then this would be the 3rd book for me. So like, it goes 1, 2, 3. So for me, the trilogy got better and better. I know some people prefer ACOMAF to ACOWAR, and like, I totally get it. But for me, because I had that weird ACOMAF slump where like I read like a couple chapters and then couldn't get through, that threw me off. However, I would love to reread this series and then like re-rank it and see if my opinion still stands. But yeah, let me know down below what your thoughts are on A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. I'll have all my reviews for all 3 books down below, because for once I reviewed all of them. So let's comment and discuss down below, and I'll see you down in the comments. Bye. Thanks for watching.